Hey, what up? It is your girl MD and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. So as we enter into week 2 of our hair growth challenge, no, it is not too late to join, so just to jump on board whenever you are ready. I thought that we would quickly talk about how to retain the hair that we grow. Our hair is always growing, but the kicker is how do you retain that new growth? So let's talk about it. The main character in this whole event is breakage, so we want to figure out the root to your breakage issue. The ends are the oldest part of our hair. They're weak, they're thin, they're fragile. We hate that for them. So what do? We keep them trimmed, protected, and hydrated. We are not rough. We treat them like they're fragile because they are. They're all curly hair. In general, your hair and ends are more prone to being dry compared to a straighter hair type or someone that just keeps their hair straight. This is because the natural oils from your scalp, when it's curly, is harder to reach the ends of your hair. Curly hair, it's turning left, it's turning right about 50-11 times, and maybe it's reaching the end. Straight hair, it's a quick, easy journey from root to tip. So that is why it is essential to add the extra hydration and moisture to your hair in general, but especially if you have curly hair. We do not talk enough about friction in the hair community and how it is breaking off your hair left and right. Let's start off easy. Using a regular towel can cause friction, and that could lead to your ends splitting and breaking. So replace that with a microfiber towel or a cotton t-shirt. If you have ever been at bra strap length, then you probably have said, this is as long as my hair grows. It does not grow past this length. It has plateaued. That is a myth. The reason why it is so hard to grow your hair past this length is because it is a high friction area. Let's think about it. When you're sitting at a desk chair, when you're sitting in the car, when you're sitting on the sofa, your hair is going to be rubbing on whatever you're sitting on. So literally every slight move that you make, what is your hair doing? It is causing friction, aka your ends are constantly in turmoil. So they're just going to literally continue to split and break off. Same thing applies if you are wearing rougher clothes and your hair is down. It is rubbing on that rough fabric, that coat, that sweater. So what do? Put your hair up. Simple. If you must wear it down, drape something over the seat that you're sitting on or the clothing that you're wearing. So be it a silk scarf, satin scarf. So that way when your hair touches said thing, it is at least rubbing on something more delicate on your ends and hair. Since we're on the subject of satin, protect your hair at all costs when you are sleeping. Be it a silk or satin bonnet, scarf, pillowcase, scrunchie. That is going to help reduce friction and damage. I've talked about it before. I feel like a lot of people have a very broken area back here. And it's because when you go to sleep and you tie your scarf back here, it is not all the way back here. It is on the nape of your neck. And it is just rubbing in the middle of the night and then it breaks off. That is why the nape of your neck is so short. That is why the nape of my neck is so short. Braid it up in the middle of the night and then put your scarf on. So it is not exposed. My mic's just dead. So if things look slightly different, that's why. Because I went and disappeared for a couple of hours and now I'm back. Try to reduce touching and manipulating your hair as much as possible, especially when it comes to styles. Pick more protective styles or styles that call for low manipulation. Something that will last your hair at least the duration of the week so you do not have to style and touch it. When you're doing protective styles, make sure that they are not pulling or adding tension to your hair. Hydration and moisture should always be a top priority. The goal is to lock the moisture into your strand. For me, the lock method works, but whatever it is that you find that works best for you with locking in your moisture, do that consistently. Often. Find a regimen and stick to it. It could be super basic or it can be over the top, but whatever is manageable and most realistic to you, make sure that you do that. Stick to your routine. Avoid products that are harsh to your hair, products that are going to strip your hair of moisture. Okay. If you are a person that chemically treats your hair, be it relaxers or dyeing, make sure that you stay on top of your treatments as far as protein treatments, deep conditioning. I mean, we all obviously need to do that, but definitely make that a priority. Do not over process your hair. So if you're getting relaxers every 8 to 12 weeks, I don't remember what the time frame is, whatever it is, stick within that time frame and do not go sooner. While we're on the topic, a deep condition protein treatment, regular basis. You already know what I'm going to say. Let's say it together. Alpha G 2-step protein treatment. Use it. I mean, I know I have gotten some comments saying how much they hated the product, and I get it. Not everything is going to work for everybody, but whatever protein that you do use and you do find that works for you, it might not be Alpha G, but I would highly recommend giving it a try. But if that is not your go-to, find your go-to and use it consistently. But also be aware of protein overload. Honestly, I have never personally experienced that, so I cannot give any real life feedback to it. But if you do experience protein overload, your hair can become brittle and break off. Follow the directions. It's usually over 4 to 6 weeks, and make sure you establish a good moisture to protein balance. A basic thing that we can forget is the tools and the accessories that we are using. So clips, hair ties, headbands, brushes, combs. Make sure they don't have jagged edges. Make sure that they are not snagging and ripping out your hair. Are your headbands too tight? Loosen them up. Get a bigger one. Those raggedy hair ties, throw them out. You know, the one with the chunk of hair on them that continues to rip out your hair? throw that joint out. It is breaking your hair, boo-boo. Your hair is snagging on your brush or a comb. Babe, it's damaging. I will never be a person that's anti-heat. You know, I used to flat iron my hair all the time. Definitely use it in moderation and make sure you are protecting your hair with some type of heat protectant. Even if you are a person that considers yourself a straight natural and maybe you flat iron your hair, I don't know, every 2 to 3 weeks, I would still only put heat in my hair one good time over the course of those 2 to 3 weeks. So that initial time when you flat iron your hair, that's it. And then in the next 2 to 3 weeks, do it again. I would consider that more or less moderation. Only you know how much your hair can tolerate as far as temperature. I'm not gonna lie, I turn the heat all the way up, but my hair also can tolerate higher heat. But your hair might not be able to tolerate that. So turn the heat down, adjust the heat. You do not need to blast it on 450. Keep that in mind when blow drying your hair as well. Keep it on a medium to low heat. And sometimes I feel like people forget, also use a protectant when you are blow drying your hair. There's a ton of blow dryer creams that are out there. Ultimately, heat does strip your hair of moisture, so just keep that in mind. Make sure that you are conditioning and properly prepping your hair before you add heat. Detangling and managing your hair, make sure you are taking your time and being delicate. This is your hair after all. Use your fingers to detangle as much as possible. Way back in the day, was I flat ironing my hair all the time? I don't even know if I was wearing it curly at the time. I really don't think that I was. I would just unnecessarily always brush my hair with a powder brush when my hair is straight. And then I started learning more about hair care. I started just using my fingers. Like I would wrap my hair with my fingers. When I would take my hair down in the morning, I would just use my finger. I was very rarely using a brush. During that stage, my hair thickened up so much. That's just a random example of how when I pulled back on the manipulation, how my hair did have a positive reaction. Whenever possible, definitely use your fingers. I think by now we know the importance of keeping our scalp clean. Make sure you are reaching for a good clarifying shampoo at least once a month. If your scalp is a clogged up hot mess, how do you expect the rest of your hair to flourish? Remember, it's not just what you do to your hair, it's what you put in your body, so make sure that you have a nice, well-balanced diet. You're adding protein, leafy greens, omega-3s, water. Obviously, that's not all the things, but I encourage you to look them up. Just know, healthy hair does start from the inside out. Obviously, it's never going to be a perfect formula, but these are pretty much the main key points that are going to help retain your length. Let me know if you have anything to add and definitely put them down below. Okay, so hopefully this wasn't too long, but I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and like always, I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.